Hi, welcome back to the channel. I'm Michelle, and today I'm going to be showing you all the things I bought for the month of June. So I did categorize them into different sections to make it easier to film this video. And these are things that are not my normal budget, so no grocery shopping, no monthly bills. These are extra things that come up, although some of them were budgeted for, which I will share when I get to that. So my first one I'm going to share is in the food category. And these are things outside our normal food budget. So I did a VitaCost order to get my vitamins. So this is what I get for hair growth, and these were $33. I got my bread flour. I used to get bread flour in bulk. If you're new to my channel, we are a gluten-free family of 5. My youngest daughter has celiac disease. So I make my own bread, and I'll link up that video if you're curious. I used to buy the bulk, but Pamela's no longer offers free shipping on that. So I buy the smaller bags from VitaCost. And I bought 2 of these, and that was $37. And then I had to pick up facial toner for myself, and that was $10. So as far as food-wise, we did go out to eat a couple times this past month. So sometime in June, Arby's was having the 5 for 5 sale, so 5 sandwiches for $5. So my daughter and my husband went out to Arby's for lunch one day, and that was $12. We went to Pride Fest this in June near us, and that was a $10 admission. It was only charged for adults, so my husband and I paid $5. My kids all got it for free. And then we did have to attend a funeral this past month, and it was about 2 hours away, so that makes food an issue. And they did have some food after the funeral, but it was nothing my 7-year-old could eat because of her celiac disease. So prior to going, I looked up different options using the Find Me Gluten Free. I'll link it down below. Awesome website app to find gluten-free food options for you. The restaurant was called Bibimbap, I believe that's how it's pronounced. It's an Asian grill inspired. So you go there and you pick your base, so rice or sweet potato noodles. You pick a protein, you pick vegetables. It's in a bowl. They have different sauces, yum yum sauce, different things like that, teriyaki. They have drinks. Everything in the entire restaurant was gluten-free. This is supposed to be a more fast food type establishment, so you go in, you get your food real quick. All the drinks were gluten-free. They had gluten-free cookies, so my daughter could have everything. So we were all pretty excited. We all got the big bowls, and my 11-year-old was not a fan of it, but she's not really a big fan of rice and everything mixed together. 7-year-old, who's actually celiac, really enjoyed it. 4-year-old was iffy. My husband and I really enjoyed it. I got the Korean beef with all the extras on it. I thought it was really good, but for the 5 of us to eat, get the bowls, the drinks, and we got 3 cookies, it was $107. And then at Pride Fest, we did stop at one of the food vendors. Again, we have to be careful with celiac disease, the options my 7-year-old can do. But one of the food vendors had Dippin' Dots and they had cotton candy, which were both gluten-free. We've used this vendor in the past. It's local to us, so we were really happy about that. So for my 3 kids to get Dippin' Dots, it was $21. So for the entire VitaCost order and food, it was $220. Next, I'm gonna move on to clothing. So my husband had to get some new work shorts. So he bought these off Amazon. It was a pack of 3. They literally are all the same type and color. Pack of 3 for $25. I had to pick up pillowcases for my bed. We have 4 pillows on our bed, and I needed some extra pillowcases. So I bought this from Marshalls, and I do prefer the Oeko-Tex standard, so that was $10 for 2 pillowcases. My daughter and I had to get a belt, so I got mine from Marshalls. Mine was $10, and it's one of those reversible belts, which is really nice. And then she needed a belt too, because she kept borrowing mine and losing it. So I found it at one of the local boutiques near us. It was really actually kind of hard to find a kid's boutique or a kid's belt for her that would fit her waist. So hers was actually $11, but it does go short enough to fit her. Socks, I got socks at Marshalls. I'm not gonna show those because they're somewhere. I got a pack of 6 and they were $5 and they were the short ones, but they're really thick. I prefer thicker sock instead of thinner ones. And then at one of the resale shops by us, they had a Paw Patrol outfit. So this is Marshall. This was $8. Comes with the head, comes with a detachable tail. This was for my 4-year-old. He really likes to dress up in costumes, and we have a bunch of different costumes, and I figure it's big enough that he can also use it for Halloween. And then the only other thing is at Ollie's, my husband picked up some new shirts under the, under what you would wear under regular shirts, the tank top type things. And because they were having a 15% off everything, it was only $5 to get that. So for clothing and the things I just showed, that was $74. Next, I'm gonna share something that doesn't have pictures because we used it, and that's the entertainment section. So the first thing we did is we bought Netflix in June, and that was solely because I wanted to binge watch the Bridgerton series, which was really, really good. Highly recommended. But we bought that, and everybody's enjoying it. The kids are enjoying different shows. My husband's enjoying different shows. So we'll see if we keep it. But for now, we paid $7. We went to Pride Fest, as I mentioned earlier, and that was $10 to get in. We went and saw a movie with some friends. My daughter really likes to read the Garfield comics, and she's read a bunch of them from the library, so she wanted to see the newer movie that came out. For the 5 of us to get tickets, it was $20, but we spent $30 in concessions. So that was a large popcorn, and then we got a kids bundle with popcorn, drink, and candy. And I was surprised that they did have some gluten-free options in the concession area. They had certified gluten-free cookies, and some of the candy there was okay for her to eat. So we'll gladly pay if there's something she can have. When we went to that funeral, we did have to travel about 2 hours away, so that we had to pay tolls, and we do have the little toll thing in our car, but every time it reloads, it's $25, and it had to be reloaded when we were on that trip, so it was $25. And the last 2 things was things that are happening in the future. So I had to pay for my 7-year-old's gymnastics for the month of July, and that was $60, and that's for once a week. And then we had to make our camping reservation. So we do go camping in the month of July for about 4 days. So we had to reserve our spot because we do go to a state park, and that was $66. So for entertainment, spent $218. Next, it's gonna be the other category. This is just miscellaneous things we picked up over the month. So the first one is needed tape. My kids go through tape like crazy. Got this at Ollie's, and again, because they were having that sale, it was $2. I got soil for $4. I had to pick this up because my son, my 4-year-old, knocked over one of my big potted plants and a bunch of the soil came out, so I had to repot that. Next thing is curtain rods. My 7-year-old was trying to close her curtains in her room and managed to break, I don't know if she was swinging, she managed to break her curtain rods. So, well, at Ollie's, we picked up a pack of 2 curtain rods, and they were $6 each, so $12. And then at Ollie's, we also picked up the bunch of balloons, and that was $6. And then we did make a trip to Dollar Tree today. So for that, my husband got this backpack because he's going on a trip later in July, and he needs to have a clear backpack for entrance into a stadium. So he got that. And then my son saw this, and we got it for him just because he's the only one of my kids that doesn't have an actual backpack. My oldest has multiple backpacks from being in public school. My 7-year-old just uses whatever backpacks my oldest doesn't use, but he doesn't have his own dedicated backpack. So he got that. And then I got some toothpicks, and this is mainly baking. I check when things are done. I picked this up. I'm excited to see they head back to school already. This for my 4-year-old for writing, because we only have one of the large pencils like this. We got a cord, and this is just for when we go camping to plug in our lights on the outside of the camper, on the awning. My 7-year-old wanted a picture frame from the summer reading program. She got a certificate for that. She wanted to put that in her room. Picked up some sparklers for the kids for 4th of July. I saw this. We had just recently, this past year, done the 50 states and all that. So I thought this would be cool to pick up. It's just a sticker sheet. You unfold it. Like that, and you can put the stickers in. I thought that would be fun to do. If I don't end up doing it with my older 2 kids, I might end up using it with my younger. And then I did pick up some of these file folders. I have some from IKEA, but they're cardboard and they've seen better days, and I've had them forever. These are plastic to hold the kids' curriculum in their shelf, and I'll link up above Homeschool Spaces how we do that. But for other, that was $40. And then I'm going to talk about specific homeschool curriculum, because I have started in June and July purchasing my curriculum. I'm about halfway done. I still do have a couple things to purchase in the month of July, which you will see in that video. But for July, what I bought for homeschool. So I had to buy a new planner. And I was disappointed. I did not see, I usually get the Homeschool Happy, the Happy Planner, the homeschool version of it. I couldn't find it. And I really am partial to a vertical layout for the daily layout. And that's something was harder to find. I did try some local stores to me. I looked at Walmart, I looked at Joann Fabrics, I looked at Hobby Lobby. I like that on Amazon. This is ultimately what I ended up going with, as you can see here. And again, because it has the vertical layout, because I do like that. I do like that it has this section here where I can put my chores or things I have to do. I do like the bottom here, because this is usually where I put meal planning. And I do like that Saturday and Sunday were included in there, because I do write things. I have all-in-one planner. I have my homeschool information, life planner, meal planning, everything is in one planner. This is smaller than my homeschool happy planner, but I haven't found any issues with it. And again, I'm not one of those that has to write every single thing we did in homeschooling down. So this has been perfectly fine, but this was $14. I picked up some books off eBay. It was one of those deals, if you bought 3, you got 10% off. So I bought Fluent Forever. This has been on my Amazon wish list. And it's learning how to learn a foreign language fast, because I will be teaching that with my oldest in middle school and high school. And then we're currently doing Spanish with my 7-year-old, so I thought that would be really useful. And then I had 2 more of these art books I had to get for middle school. I have the teacher editions for all of them, and the student editions. I wanted to make sure I had those all ready to go for middle school. See here, these are the 3 books. So I have the teacher edition and the student edition, and the years match in all of those, which is important. So we are set for middle school art. I picked this up from Amazon, and this was $6 for my 11-year-old. She struggles with remembering capitalization and punctuation, and it's something on her map test. I'll link that up above for you to see as well, that said she needed to practice more, and she hasn't mastered those concepts yet. And I was looking for something that was just capitalization, punctuation. She's very good with grammar, and a lot of the workbooks I was looking at were just for grammar, or just for grammar and punctuation. I don't need the grammar aspect. I just need capitalization, punctuation. So if you have resources or workbooks for that, link them down, or let me know in the comments down below, because I'm definitely looking at this coming year for more practice with that specific area. No grammar, just capitalization and punctuation. And then we picked up a couple books at Ollie's, and my 11-year-old picked this one up. This was $4. She's very into home design, interior decorating, all that. She made her own doll house, designer house as she calls it, and decorates it. But what she really liked with this is it gave 4 floor plans for different houses and ideas, because she's been drawing up blueprints and different things. She made an entire Subway restaurant, and she made everything out of recycled materials, and she made all the food out of the air dry clay. So she's very into this kind of stuff, so I said, sure, get it. And then because she got one, my 7-year-old had to get a book. So she picked out the Lonely Planet Kids Build Your Own History Museum. As you can see, she started with that, and she's really excited about that. And this was only $4, so I think that's a really good price. And then the other thing I bought was from Thrift Books. I bought 2 things. One of them is not here, and that is a poem every day, and I'll put up a picture of that, of what it looks like. That cost me $11. And because I had Thrift Books reward points, I got this as well, and this is Classics in the Classroom, Designing Accessible Literature Lessons. And this is a teacher resource to educate myself, but this was free. So that was $64 for that chunk. Now I'm going to show you the larger chunk, which is from Rainbow Resources, to kind of help finish or get ready for this year. So the first thing I bought this was just a random purchase. This is Junior Ranger Poop Tracks, Follow the Tracks. So as you can see, it's literally a game all 3 of my kids can play, where you have to match up the footprints, the poop, and the actual animal, and it makes the complete picture. So I thought that would be fun to do. And then I got some handwriting books, Printing Power. This is for my 7-year-old for next year. I got my first school book and my lowercase book. This is for my 4-year-old. He's already started this, really likes it. And we've always used the Handwriting Without Tears workbooks for handwriting. I had to pick up Song School Spanish. Oh, I didn't tell you the prices of those. Let's go back. So this was $15. The pack of these 2 was $17. And then I had to pick up Song School Spanish 2, because my 7-year-old finished the first one. These were each $25. Now, would I necessarily need the teacher manual for the answers? No, I do. I'm not fluent in Spanish, but I can read it and write it pretty well. I did take it in high school and college. But I do like that the teacher guide has extra activities in the back. So it's not just an answer booklet, there are extra activities, and then for every chapter, there are extra activities as well. So if you're wondering if you need the teacher guide. And then I picked up Get Ready for the Code. This is for my 4-year-old to help with his phonics. And this together was $24. And then the last thing from Rainbow Resources was Lightning Literature Grade 6, the student book, and the teacher guide. And combined, that was $99. So the total I spent at Rainbow Resources was $215, but that was budgeted for the month of June, and I also have a budget for July to buy homeschool curriculum or resources or things I need to pick up, and I do spread it out like that, so I'm not spending, $500 in a month, because that's a lot of money for my budget. So there is one more category, and that is maintenance. And again, these are things I do not have a picture for because either they're in use or we use them. So at Ollie's, we picked up a tarp for our pool. I'll include a picture of that here. And that was just to help keep the bugs from going in or the critters in the neighborhood from going in. We also picked up a pool net to kind of get out the bugs or any grass. The kids get a ton of grass in the pool. And then we picked up batteries. So the pool net was $3. The tarp was $8. Batteries we picked up were $8. My husband had to order a part for our lawnmower. I have no idea what it is, don't know what it does, but I do know the price. The price was $18. And then we had to take in one of our vehicles for an oil change, and that was $73. So that's maintenance cost altogether for the month. That was $110. So the total I spent on everything I've shown you here and things that I can't show you was $941. If you take $279 of that was homeschool related curriculum or resources. So if you take that out, I spent $662 on miscellaneous things I showed you here, and I spent $279 on homeschooling resources for this month. If you have any questions about anything I talked about, leave them in the comments below. If not, thank you for watching.